It's a cold, windy, and great night for Week 8 of Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network. Tonight we come to you from Harrison City, PA, on the campus of PennTrafford High School, as we're going to watch a Foothills Conference rivalry game between two playoff-bound teams in the third-ranked PennTrafford Warriors and your Plum Mustangs. This is a big game for both these teams, and there are different clinching situations with tonight's game. Plum has clinched a playoff spot, but they can go for a first-round home playoff game with a win over PennTrafford tonight and a win next week on senior night at home against Latrobe. For PennTrafford, they have also clinched a playoff spot, but with a win tonight, they will clinch the Quad A Foothills Conference title. The third-ranked Warriors come into this game with an overall record of 7-0 and a section record of 6-0. They are coming off a dominant win over Quad A non-conference opponent Shaler, 63-3. PennTrafford is led by quarterback Brett LaFoon, running back Devin Austin, and wide receiver Timothy Vecchio. The Warrior head coach is former Gateway assistant John Ruane. For the Mustangs, they come into this game with an overall record of 4-3 and a section record of 4-2. Plum's three-game winning streak came to an end last week as they were defeated by the fifth-ranked McKeesport Tigers 20-3. Plum is led by three key seniors in quarterback Will Fuhrer, running back defensive back Andrew Soxman, and linebacker Zach Martin. The Mustang head coach is Matt Morgan. Good evening, Mustang fans everywhere. I'm Jake Matolo, and get ready for a slugfest at Warrior Stadium. My Plum TV crew this evening with me is Logan Carney, Cameron Kutzner, Spud Satovich, Richie Rossi, and let's not forget about the real deal himself, Mr. Rick Barat. Guys, tonight may be the game of the year for both these teams. How can Plum set the tempo early and get themselves for some momentum? Let's start with Richie.
I think the big thing in this game is going to be for the Plum secondary to shut down those PennTrafford wide receivers.
Logan?
Well, I would like to touch on what Richie said. We haven't really seen Plum face many, dominant passing teams at all throughout this year. And last game, there were 2 touchdowns scored against Plum Mustangs through the air against a very well-run team, like running game team. So if the Plum secondary can step up today and really shut down the passing game and force PennTrafford to beat on the run game, even though the run game is strong, Plum's run defense is really good. So we can see, the Plum have a lot better of a chance if they can shut down the passing game than if they let PennTrafford pass all over them.
Mr. Barat?
Well, guys, I'm interested to see how PennTrafford's defense, they play a 3-5, which it seems to be rare now in not only in the National Football League, but in college football. So just talking to some of the players in class yesterday and today, we know that they have 3 big defensive linemen. And well, obviously, as PennTrafford comes out to receive the ball, we won't see them at first, but they have 3 big defensive linemen which control the line, and then they have 5 linebackers that can cover the field. So it'll be interesting to see how Plum goes about and attacks that defense. Maybe they'll run the ball, who knows? And they might try to pass the ball, but that might actually prove to be difficult with those 5 linebackers, and I'm sure they do a lot of zone blitzing, and they probably come with 4 or 5 at times. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Plum tries to do maybe some bubble screens, try to do some quick slants to try to move the ball quickly. I think PennTrafford here, knowing that we've seen some homecoming floats and stuff, I know that the homecoming queens tonight, so they must be going homecoming and senior night back-to-back. I'm sure they're thinking, hey, we're going to come in here, it's our night, it's on our turf, and we're going to walk all over Plum and get up early. So it'll be interesting to see what the score is at the end of the first quarter. If PennTrafford's up 14 points or so, it could be a long night for our Mustangs, but if Plum's hanging around, we can be in for a good game tonight, guys.
Close to probably a sellout crowd here at Warrior Stadium. The stands below me are filled, and I can only see a couple seats to the right where the Plum away section is, but across from us you can probably see both marching bands are across from us in their own little section. But it's a beautiful night for football here in Harrison City on the campus of PennTrafford High School. Neon shoe Jake Chappell is going to kick it off. It's a deep kick, and it's going to go right through the end zone for a touchback.
Which is what we said all season, to have a kicker like Chapla and be able to send that ball in the end zone. You don't have to worry about kickoff returns, and you make the opponent drive 80 yards, 50 or 60 to try to get a field goal. So that's a big weapon, I believe.
I agree, and I feel like they've taken it away from college football, too. You'll agree with me on this.
Oh, sure.
Touchbacks are now at the 25-yard line for college football on kickoffs.
Sure.
Brett LaFoon, as I said earlier, one of the Whitfield's leading passers, will throw to the outside for number 3, Timmy Vecchio, one of the leading receivers in the Whitfield. And he is stuffed behind the line. Give Zach Nolan credit with the tackle right there. Mustangs stuffed the screenplay early here for a loss of around 1.
I think, you know what, I'm not going to complain about the referees right off the bat, but boy, it seemed like he was at the 17, at best, the 18-yard line. But maybe that's a homecoming spot, Logan. I don't know.
It looks pretty fair. See, I have to agree with you, Mr. Braw. It looks like a pretty bad spot by the referees.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Devin Austin's going to run to the outside. He's the running back for the Warriors. They're running a little wildcat formation. Austin's going to get around 6. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5. I forgot to mention Devin Austin, senior running back.
That's another, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. That's another lousy spot. He did not even get to the 25-yard line. I watched that. Did you guys want to? He did not cross that plane. How is that ball on the 25-yard line?
Let's see if the Mustangs can get a stop here regardless. It's a 3rd down and 5. PennTrafford needs to get to the 30 for a 1st down. Devin Austin, the running back, was running the plays right there in their little wildcat formation. And it seemed like ever since Plum came out with their wildcat with Soxman, a lot of Foothills Conference teams have tried to run it on their own. LaFoon's going to throw. He's going to escape up the middle, and he will be stopped. Mustangs stuff the quarterback keeper. I see 62 Chris Erford in on the play, as well as 64 Eric Trends.
They marked that at the 30. Is that a first?
They're going to give LaFoon 3 on the keeper. Looked like a busted play. No one was open. Good coverage by the Mustangs. And they'll force a 3 and out to start the game.
And Jake, I think that's big to start the game for the Mustangs. Establish their dominance first.
Punt coming up. Patrick Crossy back to return for the Mustangs. Good snap. It's 35 with the punt for PennTrafford. David Benson. It's going to take a nice PennTrafford bounce all the way inside the 20-yard line.
Great
Mark
goal.
it at the 15-yard line, exactly right in the center of the field. Great punt right there by David Benson. And the Mustangs will start on their own 15-yard line, 1st down. They had a little trouble on offense last week against the McKeesport Tigers. We're going to see how they respond. Talking to a lot of the players, as you said earlier, we heard the approach may be a little bit more of the run and the short pass, because last week it seemed like Plum was trying to do the long pass plays. Pressure from Tymar Sutton, especially from McKeesport, was getting to Will Fuhrer early, and it contributed to 6 McKeesport sacks last week against the Mustangs.
See Will starting right off the bat, right out of the pistol. So, and you can see PennTrafford 3 down linemen.
Nick Robb's in at running back, and he will get the ball up the middle, and he's not going to get very much. Forward progress will mark him at the 16-yard line. Mustangs going with strong safety and senior Nick Robb, the backup for Nick Coxon and Kevin Brown tonight to start. He'll get 1. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 as I see Nick Coxon come back in for the Mustangs.
Since I think what Plum wanted to avoid off the bat was 2nd and long.
They do have a 2nd down and 9. Fuhrer's going to take the snap. Throws the outside. Pass is completed for Patrick Crossy. He's going to whip ahead to close to the 1st down. Tackle made by Zach Queen on the outside.
That should be a 1st down because when he was tackled, he rolled over the PennTrafford defender, so he should get well beyond forward progress, and he has.
1st down for the Mustangs at the 30. Pass completion of 9 yards. Quick little hitch play, it seemed like. Fuhrer to Crossy. We have repeatedly said that combination, as we're going to see the Wildcat. Will Fuhrer is out at the receiver position, and Soxman is in the Wildcat. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 30. Fumble snap, but Soxman regains control. Gets to the outside.
Maybe back to the original line.
And that's a good call. And He'll actually lose a yard. It's going to be to the 24, second down and 11 from the 24. That's my fault, folks. It's first down was gotten at the 25-yard line, not the 30. So Plum's backed up 1 yard to their own 24. He's second down and 11. Coxon's in the backfield.
Ashton teetered wide left, guys. Single coverage.
Single coverage. No one even back. Another fumbled snap. Fuhrer has to keep. He's going to roll out, throw, and the pass is completed to Patrick Crossy on the outside. What an unethical way to get a first down for the Mustangs right there.
And Jake, exposing that, they've been exposing this defense so far.
And that was a little bit of a broken play, too, there, Richie. A lot of the coverage spread out and we're chasing after the ball. Coverage was coming in a little bit, left Crossy open on the outside, but that's a good catch. They are exposing PennTrafford early as we see Plum get 2 first downs so far on their first drive of the game.
Go ahead, Logan.
Well, I was going to say, Will Fuhrer, I don't know about you guys, we look kind of like Big Ben Roethlisberger there, scrambling out of the pocket when the pocket collapsed, finding the only guy that was open, and getting the huge first down, which moved the Mustangs off the field.
Coxon gets 2 yards on the carry. It's going to be a second down and 8.
And PennTrafford defense real good on first down. So they're obviously putting Plum in second and long, which is what you want. And so far in the first quarter, first drive, Plum has been able to capitalize. So we're now approaching 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. PennTrafford, the Warriors, 3 and out on their first possession. Plum is they've already got 2 first downs.
And looking for another one here with 4 wide. They motion Crossy. Fuhrer's going to throw screen play for Crossy, who has his 3rd catch. Crossy gets ahead to the 50. First down Mustangs. Patrick Crossy with his 3rd catch of the game into PennTrafford Warrior territory at the 49-yard line. And I think we've seen the Steelers run that play less effective than Plum did right there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't talk about the Steelers tonight, so that means this game is competitive. But I agree, Jake. We also we know the Steelers kicker can't kick anything over 50 yards, and we saw
and our kicker can.
Our kicker can. So we can avoid maybe some of those Steeler references tonight.
No kidding. First down and 10. We have underway at PennTrafford, 6:30 and counting remaining in this first quarter of play. We are scoreless between the Plum Mustangs and the PennTrafford Warriors. Handoff for Coxon. And there's a late flag right after the snap.
Should be probably some sort of illegal motion on Plum since they blew the play dead. But it could be offsides also. They do call that. They do stop that in high school football. But the PA system tells us right above us here that it is a legal procedure against our Mustangs. And they will move the ball. The refs will move the ball back to the Plum 46. So that will make it 1st and 15.
I believe they had 8 men on the line of the ball. So you're not allowed to have 8 on the line. Therefore, it's an illegal formation. First down and 15 now for the Mustangs.
Will Fuhrer set wide right
to Soxman, who's now going to take the helm at the running back wildcat position. They motion Turchik. Soxman has some blocking to the outside. He's going to try to escape forward, and he's going to be stuffed right there. Looked like Chris Stanford on defense. The middle linebacker read that play very well and stopped Soxman and held him to a gain of just about 2 yards. It's going to be a second down and 13 coming up for the Mustangs. We're in a crowded press box at PennTrafford High School. It's a very nice facility up here. Mr. Broughton and I were saying that as we came in here. One of the nicer ones we've been to this year, as the press box here is 2 floors, one specific for the camera rail and the TV crew, and the one below us for a lot of the PennTrafford personnel. Fuhrer takes the snap. Another screenplay for Crossy, but it's dropped, incomplete. The pass was thrown in front of Crossy, therefore it's an incomplete pass, 3rd down.
And I don't know how much he would have got there. He would have picked up any yards there, guys, because 2 linebackers were closing in on him hard. So now Plum has their first 3rd and long. It's his 3rd and 14 at the 5:14 mark in the first quarter, 0-0.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of little slant pattern here.
Yes, 3rd and 14, and especially against this PennTrafford defense might be difficult to get, but we'll see here as Will Fuhrer calls out the signals.
Mustangs need 14 yards for a first down. Snap, Fuhrer. Pressure from the outside. It's a screenplay. Intercepted. right to 75, who's going to return it to the 26-yard line. Big interception by Andre Guest. The screenplay was not there. Andre Guest read it perfectly, and PennTrafford has the ball in great field position at the Mustang 26-yard line.
And what a great play we saw there. Break through the line, get a great pick. And now we really need to see the Mustangs defense step up here and stop. Well, they did last time with a 3-and-out, stopped both the pass game and the run game, as PennTrafford tried to go short and they easily stopped them. Now we're going to need a huge stop here for the Mustangs.
Sucked the win out of the Mustang drive right there. 5:04 now remaining in his first quarter of play. Snap, handoff for Austin. The backfield has some room, but will be tripped up at the 20-yard line by Patrick Crossy.
You know, I was just going to say, if Plum doesn't get the first down, at least they'll punt and they'll pin PennTrafford deep. And I don't think, obviously, Will did not see Guest as PennTrafford now goes to the hurry-up offense. And it was a good tackle, though, by Will to prevent the touchdown.
LaFoon hands off for Austin again. Austin has some room.
It's first down. Looks like PennTrafford's at the Plum 14-yard line as they've gone 2 straight run plays and just right up the middle here. So we'll see what Plum can do in order to throw their counter punch. As PennTrafford comes out, typically a run and shoot team in years past. They've had some coaching changes, so running out of the pistol.
You know, the former Gateway coach under Terry Smith, John Ruane, now here at PennTrafford. Handoff goes to Austin again. He stayed on his feet at the end of that play and gutted out around 5 yards. Almost could have been about a 1-yard gain, but he gives extra effort and gets about 4 extra yards on that play. It'll now be a 2nd down and 5. PennTrafford is now in the Heinz red zone. Get your thick and rich Heinz ketchup. Any place ketchup is sold, preferably at your local Plum supermarket.
This is like, I think Plum's just kicked back on their heels here. That interception seems to suck the wind out of the crowd also. They're going to have to come up with a big defensive stop.
PennTrafford in the pistol. 2nd down and 5. LaFoon hands off to to Jonah Lisbon. It's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, he looks like he's at the 8-yard line, so it should be 3rd and 3. As we're under now 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Fast-moving first quarter.
You're not kidding.
I mean, well, that's because it's been, Plum's passed the ball. There hasn't been, one incompletion. So it's all been running plays. So, and the one passing plays have been inbound. So.
See if Plum can stop PennTrafford here. It's a 3rd and 3 from the 7. Again, another generous spot for the PennTrafford Warriors at the end of that play as they're in the pistol. There's the snap, handoff on the outside for Lisbon. He is stuffed at the line. Tackle. Nick Robb with a great play to stuff Lisbon for only about half a yard. It's going to be 4th down and 3, and
they're going to kick.
Yes, they are going to kick the field goal.
And this is, go ahead, Jake, you can make the call.
It is the senior kicker, Casey Ongst, who is better known as the first woman kicker in PennTrafford Warrior history. She is going to attempt a 29-yarder. Here's the snap. Casey's kick is up, and it is good. Casey Ongst hammers that kick through the uprights. We have 2:12 remaining in our first quarter of play. It's now PennTrafford 3, Plum nothing. And guys, Richie, I want to ask your opinion right here. How big does that stop for the Mustangs with only holding them to a field goal right there affect the game right now?
I think that 3rd down was huge. Even they showed that PT could stack the line right there, and the Mustangs still got penetration.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw this morning. In the Pittsburgh Tribune, there was an article on the game today, and they had interviewed head coach of PennTrafford, and he said that the Mustangs defense is probably one of the most aggressive defenses that they're going to face this whole year, only averaging, only giving up around 13 points a game. And so far in this game, we have seen, the Mustangs live up to that hype, I guess you would say, as they stopped them on the 3-and-out on all short passes and run games, and down here they make a huge stop to hold the game within 3, because going down by 7, we know against a team like PT, it's much, much, much harder to come back than down by 3.
And you have to think about it. That was only a 20-yard drive right there by the Warriors. They started at the 26 and got to the 6. Mustangs would have been like a normal drive right there if PennTrafford was pushed back a little bit more. Excuse me. Kickoff is short for Nick Robb at the 20. Nick Robb gets up the middle to around the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he's almost at the 35, Jake, but that's the difference between having that kicker that can boot that ball into the end zone. I mean, Plum's now starting at the 35, and in all honesty, to get into Jake Chapla's field goal range, Plum only needs to get 30 yards. I mean, they can get to the PennTrafford 35. The 35 beats the 20 to start every time you look at it. So, good return by Nick Robb.
Stole the words right out of my mouth there, Mr. Barrett.
Sorry, Richie.
First down and 10 for the Mustangs. Fuhrer in at quarterback. They're going to motion Dylan Whiteman, the second tight end, to the left. Takes the snap, handoff for Nick Coxon. Gets a hole up the middle. Gets a good chunk of yardage there on first down. About 8. It's going to be second down and 2. There's your key right there of the game. Big first down yardage right there, Mr. Brott.
And you know what? Now it's second in a, well, I'm going to call it 1, 2. It's a short 3. Yeah. And it's a long 2. Boy, I would so play action, go deep right now to Ashton Teeter. There's no doubt in my mind. If he had single coverage. If Ashton comes on, let's see, he's on the left side. And that's a defensive back for PennTrafford right now. That is number 3. That is Timmy Vecchio, who's a junior.
Fuhrer will throw outside. Pass incomplete. Intended for Cross. He was on his outside shoulder, but he was unable to bring it in for the catch. It's going to be a third down and 2. And those plays right there, the big first down runs, can set up longer pass plays like that.
No, and that's a good play by Plum. You know, they pass the ball, keep PennTrafford honest, mixing the run and the pass. I mean, PennTrafford's attempted 1 pass, and so far they've been running the ball. We are now at 1:23 left to go in the first quarter. This is going to be an interesting play call, though. Besides that last run by Plum, PennTrafford kept Plum hemmed in here on the run, so we'll see what they do here.
They're going with the I formation of the Wildcat. Coxon's going to get about a yard.
If that, maybe a half yard, so Plum will have to punt.
Yeah, we're going to see Zach Nolan come out on the field for the punt for the Mustangs.
Be interesting. You know, I talked to Zach Nolan today in class, and, you know, he can't make the call himself, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a fake punt tonight.
Back to return for the PennTrafford Warriors is Timmy Vecchio. Low snap. Zach Nolan gets a nice punt off. It's going to be inside the 20. Vecchio will fair catch it at the 19-yard line, and Zach Nolan has been a weapon at punter this year, getting that ball inside the 20-yard line at the 18. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Warriors with 39 seconds left in this first quarter of play. It's Warriors 3, Mustangs 0, as PennTrafford will start their third drive of the day under quarterback Brett LaFoon. As they stated earlier, it is homecoming at PennTrafford tonight. They have a whiteout. The student section for them is to the left of us. And Plum brought their student section out here today, too. It is America night for them. Props to student section leader Nick DiPastino for getting the Mustang student section out here to PennTrafford. Mustang showing blitz, but LaFoon has time to throw. He's going to wind up, go deep. It's short.
That should be offensive interference, too. Did you guys see that, how the wide receiver, he grabbed? I don't know who he grabbed. Was that like Soxman?
No, Philip Marr is the one who grabbed. Soxman went up to try to intercept that and came down hard and was slow to get up after that play.
Wow, that's an awful no call. I mean, the PennTrafford wide receiver did the right thing because that ball should have been intercepted, and he prevented the interception. So kudos to him, but horrible call again.
Coverage back there by Crossy, Marr, and Soxman. They had a kind of a 3-on-1 in terms of defense to offensive players.
And you know what? They probably saw that in the film last week against McKeesport because you guys were keeping me updated as we had our soccer tournament in Columbia saying how that play was effective. against Plum last week from the Tigers.
That was Devin Austin in the Wildcat formation. He's going to be brought down by 35 Zach Martin and also 66 Billy Bob Baird. As we are with 15 seconds and counting, we'll see if PennTrafford gets another play off.
So it will be 3rd and 4, 4.5 almost, and that will be the last play, guys, of the first quarter. So turnover by Will Fuhr, which led to a PennTrafford field goal, but that's it. Plum with a couple first downs on their drive, each team with a 3 and out, and a big 3rd and a short 5 for the Warriors as we get ready to start the second quarter.
As we have stated, there's a lot of playoff implications here tonight. Both these teams have clinched playoff spots. This is Plum's first playoff clinching since the 2010 season under head coach Frank Sacco. And this is going to be the first trip for new head coach Matt Morgan, who is, as you know, former Plum alum.
And I'm sorry, Dick,
no,
I was going to say, if everything holds true, if Altoona doesn't lose another game in their last 2, Plum might be pinned in that 4th place position. But a win tonight here by the Mustangs against the Warriors might get Plum out of that 13-14. I mean, they won't be ranked 15th or 16th, but could put Plum up around a 10 or 11 or a 12 seed. And of course, PennTrafford wants to defeat Plum, and PennTrafford's looking to somehow crack the winner of Central Catholic and Pine Richland, who are playing tonight at Highmark Stadium, and then next week the Woodland Hills Penn Hills winner. So, you know, PennTrafford's looking to crack the top 2 or 3 here. So important game on both behalves, and PennTrafford doesn't want to lose because there's no way that they would bump ahead of either of the first place teams in the other section.
It's interesting, PennTrafford also has Norwood next week.
Yes.
Also a playoff team from the Foothills Conference. We have a penalty on the play.
And Zach Nolan pointed it out and actually stood up and pointed with his right arm. So bad penalty there, legal procedure against the PennTrafford Warriors. So that will make it 3rd and 10, which you would almost assume is a passing down for the Warriors.
And I think another key to this game, too, is going to be how the Mustangs shut down that passing defense. If they can force PT to be one-dimensional, that could be huge.
You know, it'd be interesting if Plum does force them into punt, because I think that's the time they know the punt's not going to go as far, and you'll see Patrick Rossi probably come up 7, 8, 9, 10 yards and prevent a 30-yard roll on a punt.
Could almost cut the field in half.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened for
Bethune, fumble snap. He still has time. He's going to wind up and throw deep. Pass will be incomplete. It was out of bounds. Anyway, it was not going to be a catch intended for Timmy Vecchio. Good coverage on the outside by Philip Marr, who has had a big defensive presence for the past couple of weeks at the corner position. It's going to be 4th down and 10 coming up for the Warriors, and a big stop again by the Mustang defense. We knew this was going to be a pretty big defensive game, with Plum's key was to stop one of the Whippeal's leading passers in Brent Laffoon, also a leading receiver in Timmy Vecchio. High snap, but good catch right there by the punter Benson. Crossy will catch it, return it from the 50. Crossy has room, the 40. Crossy's going to get to the 30. He has to beat the punter, and the punter will bring him out of bounds at around the 18-yard line. Patrick Crossy with a return of around 35 yards on that punt puts the Mustangs in the red zone, and a great spot to get some points up to tie or even take the lead here with 11:42 in the first half.
You just said cutting the field in half. How about cutting it into quarters?
Yeah, I agree. Logan?
Well, yeah, that's all over. No, it's just a huge return. Put him down at the 20-yard line. We've seen the Mustangs do a lot of short passes so far this game that have worked, and we've actually seen the defense, you know, pretty much stop their passing game. When last week the defense gave up 2 passing touchdowns to McKeesport. But I think the difference is this week is the defense is expecting a lot of big passes, when last week when you face a great running team, you're not going to expect those, you know, passes that often.
Fear's going to throw outside. Pass is completed for Turchik. Over the middle.
Good gain on first down again.
Absolutely. Gain of 6 to the 14. It's going to be 2nd down and 4. Plum is in the Heinz red zone. Get your thick and rich Heinz ketchup. Any place ketchup is sold.
You like saying that, don't you?
Yes,
Jay?
I do. I enjoy that every time, and I think you know that every time. I wait. I thrive for Plum to get in the red
This
zone.
Monday night, you might say it maybe once.
With the Steelers playing,
Twice,
I know.
maybe.
Don't worry. I still think Hillgrove would be proud of you.
Yes, he would. 2nd and 4 for the Mustangs.
Snap. Coxon's the ball carrier. Oh, and a
Good
big stop
tackle
at
there.
the line right there by Justin Smith.
Justin Smith was all over that. He's a senior linebacker from the PennTrafford Warriors.
Coxon will not get anything on that play. Passing game seeming to work here early. Coxon, other than that big 8-yard gain he had earlier, has really been shut down to this point. It's going to be a 3rd down and 4, 10:38 and counting.
Wow, look at this formation, guys.
It's Andrew Soxman and
Quadruple
3 backs behind him.
Power eye.
Soxman will keep to the outside. Soxman leans forward. He is going to be close.
It's going to be a spot.
The side judge is
that-
going to mark him at around the 10.5.
I agree. I know what you're saying. If it goes by the judge on the right side, that's a first down.
They're marking
The
the
side
10.
judge way on the left had him almost at the 11.
gonna be fourth down.
That is an awful spot. He got to at least he got to the 10-yard line. I'd run the same exact play. What a horrible spot. So, guys, this is our first biggest play of the game. We'll probably have about a dozen of these as the game goes on, but I agree with the call here. 4th and a half a yard, 9:45 left to go in the second
We
quarter.
see this power formation with Turchik.
There's a movement on the right side of Plum's line, so false start on the Mustang, so we will probably see Chapla in now to tie the game up at 3.
And a hard count. Supposed to get the defense, got the offense.
Yes.
You're exactly right, Richie.
And that's what they wanted to do. I thought to myself, why is Will in at quarterback? You'd want to put Soxman in there for some sort of run. He did it to draw him off, but that obviously didn't happen, and Plum will try to tie the game up right now.
Chapla's going to attempt a 33-yard field goal from the right hash. Crossy's the holder, Pop Rocky the snapper. There's the snap. Kick is up. It's a high one, and the kick is going to be good. Jake Chapla ties the game for the Plum Mustangs here with 9:23 remaining in the second quarter. We are tied up at 3. Patrick Crossy sets up the Mustang drive with a 35-yard punt return. Mustangs had a 4th and 1. They took a false start penalty that backed them up 5 yards, brought Chapla in the game. PennTrafford brought the cavalry on the field goal block, but Chapla really gets his kicks up high, which is a good habit to have, as he kicks it right through the uprights, right down the pipe. It was good. It is a beautiful night for football in Harrison City, PA, on the campus of PennTrafford High School. PennTrafford with an enrollment of around 1,380 students, just about the size of Plum's enrollment, maybe a little bit smaller. They've been on this campus location since 1972. PennTrafford is made up of Penn Township, Trafford Borough, and part of Manor Borough. Also Harrison City, the location we're at now, is part of the PennTrafford School District area. Famous alumni, guys. Mr. Brock, this may be a familiar name, Matt Gavrish.
Oh, Matt Gavrish.
I'm saying that right.
Nightmare.
He is the Quad A leading rusher all time with 6,512 yards as Chapla kicks it off, and it's going to go into the end zone.
Oh, no.
No, it's not. It's going to be a flag. It just missed the right pylon and went out of bounds at around the half-yard line. PennTrafford's going to get the ball, I believe, at the 35-yard line.
Matt Gavrish was at one time the WPIL leading rusher and one of the best Plum teams we had with actually Matt Morgan on it. We played PennTrafford at Plum in the first round of the playoffs. They beat us on a flea flicker in the middle of the fourth quarter, 35-28. But Plum lost David Pushka, who's a teacher at Holiday Park Elementary School, Brian Hartung in the last game of the season at McKeesport. And we lost our other 2 running backs in the first half of that game. We had our 5th string running back, and they all played linebacker and safety also. We had our JV secondary and our 5th string running back to finish the game. And that would have been Plum's year to make some noise in the playoffs. That was a tough one to swallow. Remember that name well, Jake. And anyone watching this broadcast back in the day, that was probably in the late 90s.
Correct.
When that happened. So
We were born.
yeah, getting old, Richie.
First down and 10.
Still a big deal.
Snap. Handoff's going to go for Austin up the middle. Austin had a good hole to go with. He's going to have a PennTrafford first down to the 46-yard line. Austin had a big hole up the middle to go with. He went with it, made a stutter step, and got a first down for 11.
You can see there's a big difference. When PennTrafford started off their drives deep in their own territory, they did nothing. I don't know if it's obviously where they position the ball, because when they start off in Plum's territory and this one on their own 35, they just seem to go for the jugular and just come out and attack.
First down, LaFoon hands off for Austin. Austin has a hole. The 40, the 30. He's going to be brought down by Patrick Crossy. Devin Austin had a hole all the way on the left side. He took advantage of it. First down, PennTrafford.
Now, when your offensive line creates a hole like that, it doesn't matter who's in at running back. That is going to be a big gain every single time. An amazingly good job by the offensive line there for PennTrafford.
Jake, I think PT is still going to be hesitant to run the ball because of the good wide receiving core that they have. But not after that run, obviously.
LaFoon hands off for Austin. And not this time, though. He's going to get stopped at around the 20. Give him only a 2-yard gain. And we're going to have a flag after the play was over. Bill Irvin there with a tackle. And after the play,
The Plum players are pointing at PennTrafford. The one PennTrafford player pointed at Plum. Wow, Coach Morgan's not going to be happy there. I didn't even see what happened, but that's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down. So that'll be half the distance to the goal. That will move the Warriors to the Plum 10. I'm sorry, it'll be 7.5, so that'll move the Warriors to the Plum 12.5-yard line.
Well, after the play was over, Mr. Bratza, they give him credit to the 20, plus another half a distance to the goal penalty. Automatic, you're correct, automatic first down as it's first and goal from the 10.
Really going to see what the Mustangs are made of here.
Sure.
Absolutely, see if they can get another stop here. LaFoon has Austin behind him.
Pistol.
LaFoon will hand it off to Austin. Bellies his way forward to around the 7. Second down and goal from the 7.
You're hoping Plum will be able to hold PennTrafford and get the ball back and milk some of this clock, but now you're hoping they can hold PennTrafford to a field goal, which still we talked about when I said in the pregame. If anyone, I don't think PennTrafford was thinking that this would be 3-0 or 3-3 at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. So
definitely give them the game here.
Absolutely.
It's more fun for us to call too.
Sure.
They actually moved them back to around the 7.5. Ball was originally spotted on the...
Devin Austin in now taking the snap.
Play clock was down, and Austin's going to throw. Incomplete. Wow. He had a receiver. It was tight end Chris Stanford in the end zone. Trick play. We just saw that earlier in the game. And it was an incomplete pass.
Wide open also. There is definitely a miscommunication there on the Plum's defensive side of the ball. So Plum dodges a bullet there, and it is now 3rd and a short 8, long 7, and we'll see what PennTrafford does here.
Another Steeler reference. Looked like Ben Roethlisberger overthrowing a wide open Marcus Wheaton in the end zone last week. Sorry, I had to do it.
Sure.
3rd down and 8, as Mr. Barat said. LaFoon's going to throw. Mustangs bringing pressure. It is going to be...
He's out.
Touchdown, PennTrafford.
His first foot hit out of bounds before the second foot. That's a lousy call.
PennTrafford gets the benefit of the doubt, although it was a nice catch there by Timmy Vecchio, but it did look like he had his foot down before he got his other foot in bounds. But PennTrafford will get the benefit of the doubt, get the touchdown call, connection of 8 yards from LaFoon to Vecchio, and Casey Ox will be in for the extra point. There's the snap. Kick is up. The kick will be good. PennTrafford tacks on 7 points. Now has a 10-3 lead with 7:34 remaining in the in the first half. You are watching Plum TV and the Plum Mustang Sports Network, Week 8 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Jake Mottola. Alongside me on the headsets are Logan Carney, Richie Rossi, Mr. Rick Barat with us as well, and then on the camera, two of my closest guys, Cameron Kutzner, Sputzatovich in the camera.
Now, I think this drive is going to be a little bit interesting. If I was Plum, I would start throwing a lot more short passes. We saw in the first drive of the game from the Mustangs, but after the two, unlucky drops by the Will Fuhr to Patrick Crossy, which worked at first, and then a couple of unlucky drops, they haven't really done, and they've gone to runs, but the runs have only been, the running game hasn't really been there for Mustangs. The PennTrafford defense has been unstoppable in the front line. So the Mustangs, if I was the Mustangs, I would go back to the short passes off to the side, the short screen passes, and probably get a huge, hopefully a huge drive here by the Mustangs.
It's going to be a return up the middle by Soxman to the 36-yard.
Another great run there.
And guys, Mustangs start in good field position again at the 37-yard line, as that kick did not go in the end zone, so Soxman was able to return it, and he took it back to the 37. Mustangs with 7:29 to go in the first half, with Fuhr in the pistol, fakes the handoff. He's got plenty of time to throw. Winds up, goes deep. He has Teeter, and it's going to be a catch to the 15-yard line. Fuhr to Teeter for a bomb. Mustangs at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Teeter just blew right past him.
Oh my God, did he just blow right past him? Wasn't even close.
Looked kind of like a certain wide receiver we know from the Detroit Lions there.
Yeah, Megatron.
I know we're probably going to give a lot of credit to Teeter on that play for blowing right past the PennTrafford corner, but still a great throw by Will Fuhr to catch him right in drive. Because easily, the only way that any of that play could have been messed up is if Fuhr threw a shorter pass, but obviously he didn't. It was just a perfect dynamic by the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Connection of 48 yards from Fuhr to Teeter. Coxon's the ball carrier. He gets 4. It's going to be a 2nd down and 6 at the 11. My favorite part of the broadcast, other than our halftime report, is the Mustangs being in the Heinz red zone. Get your thick and rich Heinz ketchup. Any place ketchup is sold.
It's done a lot both ways this half, Jake.
That's good. It's good, Richie. I'm really happy that both these teams have reached the red zone, preferably my Mustangs. Our Mustangs, I should say.
We're all Mustangs.
Fuhr rolls out to the right. He's got time. He's going to roll. He's going to throw over the head of Nolan. Good play by Fuhr. It looked like quadruple coverage on Zach Nolan. I don't think it was designed that way, but good job by the PennTrafford Warrior defense, and they'll force a Plum 3rd down and 6.
And Jake, other than that play, I think we've seen a lot of Plum making the PennTrafford defense guess.
Well, the offensive line plays so far for these last couple of pass plays have been amazing. Will Fuhr's getting a lot of time there on both the huge completion and that play right there.
Which is, I guess, in stark contrast to what happened last week when you guys were filling me in, that there was just no time to do anything last week.
You're correct.
Must be you.
Must be me.
3rd down and 6. Fuhr, screen play for Nolan, intercepted. It was off the hands of Zach Nolan and intercepted by Zach Queen on the outside, and that's a killer for the Mustangs, as Zach Queen made a diving play off the incompletion from Fuhr to Nolan, and it was caught by Queen. Good play. PennTrafford gets their 2nd interception of the day, and they will start this drive from the 12-yard line, and that has just sucked the wind out of all of us up here, guys.
Sure, and that's a mistake there that you can't control off the hands of Zach Nolan, and hopefully Plum will hold PennTrafford to a 3-and-out and get the ball right back.
That's where LaFoon will start at the 12. Handoff for Austin. Oh, he stuffed at the line. Nice play right there. Looked like Nate Turchik, and it was Nate. Great play right there. It's going to be a loss of 1 and a 2nd down and 11 coming up for the PennTrafford Warriors.
Well, I can't believe, I get to say this, but the run game is what PennTrafford has to go to now, because besides that touchdown we saw down here, the PennTrafford pass game, surprising as it is, has not been there this game. The Mustangs secondary playing a huge game so far throughout this game, and PennTrafford's going to need at least a couple big passes here if they want to get anywhere near the end zone.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 11. LaFoon will do the option play, and he'll keep it. LaFoon's still on his feet. He is close to a 1st down. It's going to be close. It's going to be a 3rd down and inches coming up for PennTrafford's 5:38 remaining. Nope, they're going to give him the 1st down. It is a Warrior 1st down. We have 5:38 and counting. In the first half, PennTrafford 10, Plum 3. Give LaFoon a carry of 11. LaFoon, handoff to Austin. Austin has some room. It is Devin Austin to the 40. Devin Austin to the 50. Brought down at the 44-yard line by Patrick Crossy. Devin Austin with a huge carry right there for a PennTrafford 1st down. They are into Mustang territory. Again, PennTrafford line doing their job, opening up the holes for Devin Austin.
Well, this is what makes PT one of the better teams in the section. When the pass game doesn't work, they can still go to the run and get huge games and beat you on the run game.
Stop right there.
Number 11, Jonah Lisbon.
Handoff was for Jonah Lisbon. He's only going to get around 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7.
Jake, I think that's another bad spot. That ball may have gotten to the 43 on a good day. 42, rather.
Making a tackle for the Mustangs, number 66, Billy Ball.
They marked it at the 41.
LaFoon and Warriors in the pistol. That's going to be a flag. Looked like the line jumped early, yeah.
Whistles and flags right at the snap.
This will back PennTrafford up 5 yards. It'll be a 2nd down and 12. 4:24 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play. Make sure to stay tuned for our Coca-Cola halftime report, as you will see the Plum Mustangs marching band and homecoming festivities here at PennTrafford High School. It's an awesome show. Move to the music, led by drum majors J.J. Collins and Matty Vale. Stay tuned for halftime. And you will also hear our birthday and this day in history shout-outs from Logan and myself.
Well, that is
Also
my
my
favorite. This is my favorite. I was just going to say, that is my favorite part of this broadcast.
My favorite part, too.
And you're going to hear cameraman and one of my bros, Cameron Kutzner, come with us at halftime too, as well as Jonah Lisbon will gain around 4. It's going to be a 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Warriors. Another time check. We have 3:44 and counting remaining in the first half. Plum and PennTrafford both have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Now, despite what Jake said, Jonah Lisbon will not be joining us on this halftime broadcast.
Darn.
Kind of cut off there by the play.
We will have the real deal himself, Rick Baracca.
Yes, we will. PennTrafford going empty set. Pressure. Screen play on the outside. Incomplete. Pass wasn't intended for Devin Austin on the screen, but Nate Turchik stuffs it out right there. Takes him down. Incomplete pass. 4th down and 8 coming up for the Warriors, and they will have to punt to the Mustangs, who will have 3:12 and 3 timeouts remaining to try to muster some points here.
And again, we see the Mustangs defense coming up big on the pass play. So far, one of the best quarterbacks in Whitfield has been not looking that good tonight because of a great defensive plays by the Mustangs defense.
He's looked a little bit uncomfortable, Logan, as the punt right there is going to be deep. Leighton Qual is going to let it go, and it's going to take a nice PennTrafford bounce. Great job so far tonight by David Benson, who punts this inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Mustang offense, who seemed like they've moved the ball pretty well tonight through their first couple of possessions.
Well, I'm going to get back on the defensive standpoint here. I'm going to refer back to the article I read earlier in the day when they interviewed head coach of PT, and he said the Mustang defense is one of the most aggressive defenses they've played. It brings the blitz a lot, and that could be what's making the quarterback uncomfortable today.
Absolutely, Logan. Plum TV's here at Warrior Stadium for Plum PennTrafford. Score is 10-3 PennTrafford. 3:05 remaining in the first half. Plum has 3 timeouts to work with. Handoff was for Robb, and he's going to be stopped at the line. Nick Robb will lose around 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 13 coming up for the Mustangs.
Now we're talking about new territory for the PT offense with the way they've been running the ball and the way they've been passing the ball. This is kind of new territory for the Mustangs offense. The passing game has been great other than a couple, unlucky plays, but in the run game has been pretty much shut down by the PT defense as they're doing a great job penetrating the line. But on the pass play, the line is the one, the offensive line is the one winning that battle, and Will Fear's got a lot of time back there on almost every pass play.
2:30 remaining. Handoff for Nick Robb on the outside. He's going to get to around the 10.5, 11-yard line. Will be third down and 7. Nick Robb will get 6 yards on that play. We are now under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Big third down here for the Mustangs. I imagine if they're stopped on the run play here, if they were somehow to run the ball, PennTrafford would probably use one of their timeouts.
See that strong eye again.
Yes, it is. Handoff will go for Coxon, and he is going to get some positive yardage, but it's not going to be enough for a first down, as John Ruane is going to take a timeout for PennTrafford. He now has 2 remaining.
With the way the Plum defense has been playing this game, PennTrafford's not going to want to come out there and run the ball, which has been working for PennTrafford much better than the past game. The Mustangs, if they get a big punt off here, they can probably hold them, away from a touchdown and possibly maybe even stop them from getting even a field goal. That's the way, since the Mustangs defense has been pretty much dominant against the pass so far, which, considering the greatness of the quarterback for PennTrafford, it's a little bit, impressive by the Mustang standards, especially since the Mustangs have not really been tested on the passing game so far this year.
Still, if you're the Plum Mustang guys, even though it's 4th and 4 and you're going to punt with Zach Nolan here, if you can go in the halftime 10-3, that's still a win. You never know what can happen, obviously, but Plum with 2 turnovers, one that essentially stopped a drive, and the other one which led to a PennTrafford field goal. So that's going to be a great bounce for the Mustangs. Exactly what PennTrafford had early in the first quarter. And I think PennTrafford was planning on getting the ball at midfield, if not in Plum territory, and that ball drifted the whole way back to the 35. I mean, I think Nolan is set up at the 5-yard line, if not the 3 or the 2. So 1:28 left. We'll see if PennTrafford can throw the ball. I'm kind of shocked, guys. Everything that I've read about PennTrafford, and we saw that game against the Altoona Mountain Lions that we saw on tape. They did a hook and ladder on their first drive in the first quarter. I thought PennTrafford would come out and throw the ball here, but it's kind of been run, run, run. And as I say that, they go to 4 wide receivers now.
Mustang DB's been playing great in that cover, too.
Sure. LaFoon's going to throw. He's going to keep it because it was a play where no receivers were open. LaFoon gets into Mustang territory at the 46-yard line. Clock stops to move the chains. It's now stopped at 1:22 remaining. It will restart once the chains are set. PennTrafford has 2 timeouts remaining.
And you know what, Jake? I'll argue with you, and I'll think that was a design quarterback run.
Well, like I said, I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. But the Mustangs and PT have both been playing different offensive styles so far this game.
Sure.
The Mustangs have been passing the ball a lot more than we've seen. And while a lot of them have been short passes, we saw that huge touchdown play, not touchdown play, but a huge 48-yard reception from Wilfield to Teeter. And so far in PT, we've heard so much about their passing game, but it's been their running game that has really been shown up to here today, as they've gotten some huge runs off of a great offensive line play and some great running back plays.
Yes, and you wonder what's the line that PennTrafford needs to get to kick a field goal. I would assume at least the 20, if not the 25. So they're going to have to get at least 25 more yards. So, but still, the Mustangs right now, obviously we'd want to have the lead at halftime. But if you would have told me today Plum's going to throw 2 interceptions in the first half and only be down by 7, I think I would take that.
2 fluky interceptions.
Handoff for Austin. Austin has a hole to the outside. He's very smart, gets out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Mark it at the 39. It's close to a first down. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. No, they're not. It's going to be a second down and inches. 1:14 is frozen on the clock right now.
So PennTrafford, this is almost like a free play, guys, because they'll run the ball. You get a first down, the clock will stop to place the ball. So
Pistol
this
offense
is a
again.
run coming.
Handoff for Austin. He does a nice stutter step move to around the 29.
They've essentially run 3 plays and have gained 35 yards.
Basically what they got all the first 3 drives combined.
And not one have been a pass. They've all been runs.
That's their whole offense has been running.
That 4-3 defense.
We are under a minute. LaFoon, another quarterback keeper. And I think you're right, Mr. Broad. It's a design play as LaFoon is now at the 15-yard line. Give him a 15-yard run. PennTrafford's back in the Heinz red zone at the 15, 1st and 10.
Definitely in field goal range as we're at 57 seconds left. I don't think he's going to pass.
Handoff for Austin, and he's going to be stopped at the line this time. We do have a flag from the side official, which is really a call majority of holding.
Holding's going to move him back 10 yards. Those are design runs, too. They're seeing Plum's 3 linebackers either stationary, dropping back, and they're letting that line just come in, and they're just shooting right up the middle. So we'll see if Coach Morgan can adjust to that. And I missed the call, guys.
It is a holding. You're right, Mr. Broad. As Austin lost a yard on the play.
They're still backing up.
Well, they are at the 26. So PennTrafford's probably going to need at least 6-7 yards for a field goal, but and the clock is running, and they're not calling a timeout. They do have 2 at their disposal. We're under 40 seconds left. It's not passing. I would be shocked.
Here's the snap.
PennTrafford
will pass. LaFoon over the middle. Caught. Incomplete. Great play in the end zone by Patrick Crossy to jar the ball loose from Guzik.
Good play by Patrick Crossy, who is the MVP of the first half for the Mustangs. He's been Mr. Everything.
Now, this is something I want to bring up. Do you think the reason that they're not passing the ball is because the run game has worked so well, or probably because because Mustangs have shut down pretty much the passing game, and PT head coach is pretty much putting huge respect on the Plum secondary?
I agree. Exactly, Logan.
3rd down. LaFoon rolls to the right. LaFoon has time, fires, and it's way over the head of Timmy Vecchio. Incomplete. Interesting play call coming up here for the Warriors. It's a 3rd down and a long 21.
I think it's out of field goal range.
Stop here.
So you think they'll run it here, maybe get a little bit closer?
Well, no. It's 3rd and 21 now. Yeah, they've run the ball so effectively. I mean, that was a good pass down there. That should have been a touchdown. And when they had that trick play in the end zone, that should have been a touchdown also. So I would not be surprised if this is another design spread out Plum and a design run to try to get to the 20 or the 18, 17-yard line.
Third down and 21.
I would be shocked if he passed.
We're going to have a stoppage in play. Timeout Plum.
Interesting.
They now have one remaining. They've also used one on this drive already for a defensive replacement. They only had 10 men on the field first time they called their timeout.
Coach Morgan here, this is be an interesting defensive call. If PennTrafford does pass, I mean, he can be a little tricky and potentially blitz, but I don't think that gets you anything because so what? You sack them, they're back at the 40, they're going to punt, 25 seconds left. I think you just play everyone back. You know, you want to at least hold them to 3, but I'm sure also Coach Morgan's thinking, boy, it'd be nice to go in a half. 10-3 is a lot better than 13-3.
Get the ball at halftime, too.
Well, yes, and Plum does get the ball at halftime, so you're only down by 1 possession if this is a score at the end of halftime. So
Wouldn't be surprised to see some type of zone blitz here.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, like me and Jake, we talked about this earlier in the broadcast. But part of the reason we think that, they've gone, or the passing game hasn't really worked for them is because quarterback Brett Laffoon is not used to seeing this type of aggressive defense where Mustangs are constantly bringing the blitz. So if they bring the blitz here and they do end up passing it, it could make quarterback Brett Laffoon kind of uncomfortable there in the pocket and possibly make him throw an incompletion or even get a sack, which would be huge.
Laffoon's going to throw. Mustangs bringing blitz, and it's going to be a fumble. Mustangs are going to pick it up. Anthony Renby with the stripped sack. Mustangs get the ball at the 35-yard line. Recovery was on the outside, and there is a player down. Billy Bob Baird recovered the fumble, picked it up, and returned it, and he is down.
And he's had knee problems, and he's been banged up all season. Looks like his knee again.
Oh, it's not good, Billy Bob Baird.
It's that braced knee, too.
Yeah, he just hit his left knee twice. Right knee, I apologize.
Well, we have 17 seconds left here in the second quarter, and a couple out-of-town scores. One that's actually does affect Plum is the Altoona Mountain Lions with a 7-3 lead over the Hempfield Spartans. Now, if Altoona does lose, and they lose their last game of the season because they play no, they don't play PennTrafford or McKeesport. Altoona will have
Connellsville next week.
Connellsville. They will have 3 losses, and a win here by the Mustangs can actually catapult Plum into 3rd place. Am I correct, Jake?
Correct.
So that game's important, and a big one tonight. And if you're watching the broadcast, you already know who won because this is on the first broadcast. Rebroadcast is Monday. Is the Pine Richland Rams are tied with the Central Catholic Vikings down at Highmark Stadium.
A sold out Highmark Stadium.
Yes, you're all right, Jake.
Now, guys, quickly, with 17 seconds left, Plum has 1 timeout. Are you surprised they're not being conservative here and kneeling the ball?
If you can get up to the 50-yard line, but
Nick Robb has a hole up the middle to around the 46-yard line. Again, they maybe should have marked him around the 48. But Plum takes a timeout. No, they do not. Clock is stopped as they move the chains. They are going to quickly get to the line, probably to try to spike the ball.
No, that's a good call. That's a great call by Coach Morgan because then you save your timeout.
And good call. Fiora will spike it with 9 seconds remaining. Mustangs are at the 47-yard line. Probably to have an attempt at a field goal. Mustangs need probably another 18 yards to get to the 35.
And just to give you an update on that Central Catholic Pine Richland game, it's tied 14-14 with 9:08 left in the half on a 47-yard touchdown pass from DeMar Hamlin.
Thank you for the out-of-town score update, Richie. It's brought to you by Kogo's.
Jake, I don't think Plum needs to get to the 35-yard line. I mean, Tapla, with a big rush, if they get to the 40 and we're able to get 13 more yards, he can make a shot at it.
They're going to do a quick pass play for Teeter. Hook and ladder play. Ball is loose. They're going to mark it out of bounds to where I believe it was Nick Coxon had it and he fumbled it. There's 48 seconds left, 4 seconds. Are you thinking Hail Mary time right here for the Mustangs?
Yeah, it has to be Hail Mary. I mean, Jake Tackle has a hell of a leg, but excuse my language, but this is a 65-yard field goal, which is insane. So, hey, you can never know. You can get an interference call as long as Will has time. It doesn't get sacked and fumble the ball. You throw it up and see what happens. So here we go, Hail Mary time.
Well, the way the offensive line has been playing this game on the pass, it's not stupid to, think that Will is going to have a lot of time on this pass here, especially with PT only blitzing 3. Will's probably going to have a bunch of time to get comfortable. The only real problem is, will our wide receivers get open with a lot of defensive backs are going to be back there.
And there can be interference also, which wouldn't put them at the 1-yard line or, but it's
which would help them to get them to the 33.
Yes.
And due to an interference penalty, they would put 1 second on the clock.
And so then Plum can come in. Or defensive, illegal use of hands would be 5. Defensive holding would be 10. Is it 5 or 10, Jake?
On defense, it's 5. On offense, it's 10 yards. I know because illegal contact
is 5.
with the NFL this year with the new rules,
sure.
with the illegal contact and defensive holding rules. It's 5 and an automatic first down. As Mustangs will go with 4 wide. It's going to be Hail Mary time. Fuhrer has time. PennTrafford's only rushing 3. Fuhrer winds up, throws deep. No one back far enough as PennTrafford's going to bat it down, which was a smart decision. Back there was Timmy Vecchio who batted it down. A very entertaining first half here from Warrior Stadium in Harrison City on the campus of PennTrafford High School. Both teams will go to the locker room very satisfied, PennTrafford especially, because they have the 10-3 lead over the rival Plum Mustangs. Stay tuned for the halftime shows and preferably for your Plum Mustangs marching band and their move to the music show. PennTrafford homecoming festivities will also occur. Stay tuned. We will have all the festivities. We'll be back with our Coca-Cola halftime report after 1 half of play in PennTrafford. It is PT 10, Plum 3. It'd be tougher to do come second half.
Joshua Banko is the son of Jeff and Anna Banko. He is a member of the football team and the soccer team. Josh has been a cast member for 4 years. Josh plans on attending college after graduation. Introducing Maria Pallarino. Maria is the daughter of Jim and Susan Pallarino. Maria is the captain and 4-year letterman of the basketball team. She's a 3-year letterman on the volleyball team and a member of NHS. Maria plans on attending St. Francis College of Brooklyn, where she will continue to play basketball. Maria is then supported by Anthony Fiasco. Anthony Fiasco is the son of Larry and Crystal Fiasco. He is a member of both the baseball and football teams, as well as gym life. Anthony plans on studying sports management and then would like to become either a baseball coach or a scout. Introducing Casey Casey is the daughter of Lisa She is the captain of the girls' soccer and basketball team, as well as being the kicker for the football team. Casey is also a member of NHS. She plans on playing soccer at Duquesne University while pursuing a nursing degree. Casey's career goal is to become a nurse and esthetician.
You're not going tomorrow, are you?
Casey is escorted by Ryan Terma. Ryan Terma is the son of Mike and Linda Terma. Ryan plays hockey during his sophomore and junior years. He is a member of PAP and NHS. He plans on attending a 4-year college to study business management and finance. Ryan's career goal is to become a real estate agent. Introducing Rachel Ford. Rachel is the daughter of Jeff and Beth Ford. Rachel is the captain of the tennis team and a member of the engineering team, CAP, NHS, Pro-Life Club, and Astronomy Club. She is also active with her church youth group and team president of the Trafford Ladies Youth Club. Javier Alvarez is the son of Santiago and Maria Alvarez. He is a member of NHS and the Eagle Scouts and active with Troop 201 as well as his church youth group. Javier is also a senior counselor at Westmoreland County Junior Conservation School. He plans on pursuing a career in software engineering. His dream job would be to work at Google Incorporated. Introducing Maggie Crombie. Maggie is the daughter of Tom and Jennifer Crombie. She is vice president of both Student Union and NHS, as well as being cheerleader, captain, and a member of CAP and Spanish Club. Maggie plans on pursuing a career in pediatrics, oncology, nursing, or occupational therapy, attending Penn State University. Maggie Comfort is escorted by Alex Butch. Alex Butch is the son of Angie and Cassie Butch. Alex is student union president and a member of the varsity volleyball team, NHS, and Friends Club. He is an Eagle Scout and the school mascot. He plans on pursuing a career in aeronautical engineering.
We'll face North State, we'll get after it. And then we'll go to some ball, we'll get after it.
Welcome back to the 2013 PennTrafford Warrior Homecoming King and Queen, Mr. Dan Cox and Miss Tessa Ives.
I seriously overestimated it. He is not as good as I thought he was.
For 2014 PennTrafford Warrior Homecoming King is Anthony Fiasco. Warrior homecoming queen is Miss Casey Oates.
Queen here tonight from PennTrafford Warriors Stadium. So there you have it. See us coming king and queen. Two will celebrate with those awards. Good time there. Just got the sign here. Open. Your band makes it. Young band, Mustang band. And we'll let you know our keys. Things will be looking for here in the second half. Right now it's 10-3 at halftime. And we're leading it very well. We'll be back in just a couple minutes here. Westmoreland Sports Network.
Got home Friday, watched with homecoming. I was here. And then, well, it's my grandmother's birthday tomorrow, so. I had pasta, and sloppy joes, meatloaf.
Please get up and move to the music with the 2014-2015 Plum Senior High School Mustang Marching Band under the direction of Bethany Lloyd, with assistants Steve Flory and Joe Joyce, along with drum majors Maddie Bell and JJ Collins. Color guard captains are Megan Orban and Ashley Pellegrino. Dance team captains are Liza Now enjoy the sights and sounds of our next tune, the rock classic Bicycle Race by Freddie Mercury of Queen, featuring the dance team, Color Guard, and Majorettes.
Hey buddy, how's it going? Best of luck in sports center. You guys have been out with races out. Yeah, I mean, I read them all, and you guys were head-headed. Well, I was always, it's usually one of those games that you just circle on the calendar, you're like, all right, let's put up the weight for it. Exactly right. PennTrafford, that was last year, the biggest history. They made that first game, and that trip lost. They didn't know the love game was just yeah, I mean, you guys saw, I mean, this is like the closest game PennTrafford's had all year. It's just kind of, it's a little refreshing to see, because usually it's like 24, 25. Alright man, well I'm going to jump on here. We're going to get
We thank you for your attention as we change the pace of art and bring to our show to a close with this 1965 hit written by Pete Seeger and performed by the Birds, Turn, Turn, Turn.
Greensburg, halftime show here in Greensburg, Lifetime. 7 minutes to go, so we get set for the second half coverage. And take a look at that first half, Matt. Close one of the first close games so far this season.
that not Logan's headset? Sorry.
Welcome back to Warrior Stadium on the campus of PennTrafford High School in Harrison City, PA. I am Jake Matola. Alongside me for our Coca-Cola halftime report is Richie Rossi, Cameron Kutzner, and don't forget about Logan Carney, who's with us as well. We're going to get our birthday shout-outs today. The only one I have today, guys, with a birthday shout-out is Eminem, who turns 42 today. Cameron, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a birthday shout out to Ziggy Marley. He turns 46 today. And you're my Yoku, Ziggy.
Happy birthday, Ziggy Marley, son of Bob Marley. Again, turns 46 today. And our This Day in History happened back in 1989. It is the 25th anniversary of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Area earthquakes. That was one of the largest in United States history, killed 62 people. But it was also remembered for the game that halted the 1989 World Series, which happened to be between the Oakland Athletics and the San Francisco Giants.
No, that's actually very interesting that you brought that up, because I actually watched, for some reason, the other day I actually watched the whole report.
It was a 30 for 30.
Yeah, I watched, no, it wasn't ESPN 30 for 30. But I saw the commercial, which caused me to go on YouTube. I watched all like the different stuff that happened. I watched the bridge collapse. I watched them trying to get the people out from because they were trapped underneath the highway bridge, in between. They tried to get so many people out. I watched the game and everything, and it was actually just amazing because all you can hear is the broadcaster at the time. I believe it was
Al Michaels. It was Al Michaels and Tim McCarver.
All you can hear is the whole thing goes black, and then all you hear is I believe we're having an earthquake, and then just beep, just like something you hear at a hospital, just straight like that. And it was probably I wasn't even alive. I wasn't alive when it happened, but watching it on YouTube is probably one of the scariest moments.
It's just amazing because Al Michaels does a great job. Whatever sport he does, he used to do a ton of baseball. Did a lot of baseball games. He did all the World Series from the year 1982 on into the 90s when John Buck did it. Joe Buck, who currently is on Fox, and his dad John Buck is the famous announcer for CBS who did the World Series. But Al Michaels had to be one of the greatest baseball broadcasters ever before he's at football. But Logan, he had a lot of wherewithal to keep the broadcast going, even though he thought they were off air. He was questioning whether he was on air or not.
And you can actually hear him. If you go on, you look on YouTube, you're going to find the broadcast easily. Very easily. You can hear him say, I don't know if we're on air. If we're getting this sign, but we can't hear anything out of our mics. We don't know if anything's going on, and just telling everything that went on and everything that went on the whole time. And it's probably one of the most amazing broadcast things I've seen, because obviously up here we can hear everything that's going on. Can you imagine not being able, the crowd, panicking, everything that was going on in San Francisco, and not being able to hear, your commentators talk, your boss talks, or anything like that.
It was a scary moment. You were referring to the Cypress Street bypass collapse in Interstate 880 in Oakland. It was in the Oakland side of the earthquake where Cypress Street bypass was collapsed. It actually killed around 66% of the people, 2/3 to be exact, of the people that were killed on that day. And we have to give credit to the people, the EMS and the first responders. And we've seen it in the Pittsburgh region too, even with the Franklin regional disaster. First responders are the first people on the scene, and we give credit and thank them for their jobs because they do a great job.
It wasn't even just the EMS. Watching the video on YouTube, you saw a lot of just random strangers trying to help these, people trapped, and probably one of the scariest moments I can probably think of. You're being trapped. The only thing saving you is your car with just concrete on top and bottom. That's got to be one of the scariest moments of anything. he said he killed 66% of the 62 people that died that day. I mean, it's just shocking. Everything that I watched about that is just shocking.
Quickly, Mr. Barat, you were a sophomore in college in 1989. Could we quickly get your thoughts on the 89 earthquake in the San Francisco Bay Area?
Yeah, honestly, Jake, it was kind of shocking, actually. The World Series at the time was a bigger deal because there was no YouTube, there was no, there's no internet or anything. So, everyone turned on the TV and it was like you see the camera shaking and stuff, and it was like, oh, earthquake. So you were glued to the TV, and whatever was said on the TV stayed on the TV. I mean, you just were glued because there was no other media source.
PennTrafford did a squib kick right there on the first possession, on the kickoff to open up the second half. So Plum will start at the 40-yard line, first down and 10, in great field position. Fear high snap, ball's loose. PennTrafford's going to recover it. A disaster to start the second half. Fear, the snap was high to him. Fumble was recovered by 47, Chris Stanford. And not a good start to the second half for the Mustangs.
That was predictably or unpredictably the worst possible start that you could have besides an interception return for a touchdown.
Well, especially since we've seen, PennTrafford starting, well, on the first score of the game was also a turnover down here in the 30. And it seems like they've been getting a lot of, lucky things or misfortunate for the Mustangs that's causing them to have great field position to start a lot of their drives.
Handoff to Austin up the middle. He's going to get about 4, second down and 6. And like we said earlier, we've seen the kind of switcheroo from both approaches from both teams. PennTrafford, normally a pass-first team, really has been running the ball a lot. And Plum, usually a run-first team, has been throwing the ball a lot tonight. But in the backfield, Plum is going to stuff them. First one to get to him is Nick Poprocky, and Billy Bob Baird will finish the tackle. He's going to lose around 4. It's going to be a third down and 9 coming up for the Mustangs. Mustangs broke through that line right there and got to LaFoon early. They would try the double option, quarterback option. LaFoon kept it and probably was not the right decision. There's a shovel pass. It's not going to be enough for a first down. PennTrafford will get to the 25. I do not know if it's long enough in Casey Unk's range for a field goal, and we are not seeing the field goal unit come on the field. So PennTrafford's going to try to go for it. It's a 4th down and 3 from their 24.
So this is the second biggest play of the game so far that we're going to have here. PennTrafford has to get to the Plum 21.
Looking like an I formation. It's a toss play to Austin. Austin has room. Can he get a touchdown? No, he's down to around the 2-yard line. Make it the 5 as he stepped out first at the 5. Enough for a first down and enough to get it into the inside the 10-yard line, to be exact, at the 5. First and goal from the 5 for the Warriors.
That was the right play call there, guys, because without a doubt, Plum thought that ball was going way up the middle, and sure enough, it went way to the left.
First and goal from the 5. LaFoon, handoff for Austin. Austin will be down at the 1. About a 4-yard gain. It's going to be second down and goal from the 1. It'd be a big momentum builder here if PennTrafford's able to put up a touchdown here on the board. Would extend their lead to 2 touchdowns. They're going with the jumbo formation with only one wide receiver out to the left. Keeper from Laffoon.
He's in.
Touchdown, PennTrafford. Brett Laffoon keeps it for a 1-yard quarterback keeper touchdown. And again, the wind has been taken out of the sails of the Mustangs as center troubles and snapping troubles have been a problem of the last 2 weeks. And this time it comes back to bite the Mustangs. Casey Ungst on for the extra point, who was just crowned homecoming queen at halftime. Snap, kick is up, kick is right down the pipe, good. PennTrafford extends their lead, as I said, to 17-3 with 9:14 remaining in this third quarter of play. Plum turned the ball over to start the half. It was a low snap for Fuhrer, and it was recovered by Chris Stanford of PennTrafford. PennTrafford went 26 yards and scored a touchdown, their second of the game.
I'm just stunned. That was such. Plum's had the air kind of out of their sails several times tonight. The Will Fuhrer interception, the second interception, and now that snap going to nowhere. They've set the table here for PennTrafford. So Plum has their work cut out for him now. 17-3, guys, with 9:14 left to go in the third quarter. Plum's going to have to put together a significant drive, not only to get some points, but at least get up to midfield and pin PennTrafford deep so they can start to sway the momentum the other direction.
Well, we saw whenever the Plum Mustangs pinned PennTrafford deep other times, the Plum Mustangs defense looked unstoppable.
Absolutely.
All three scores, I believe, were because the defense held, the Mustangs offense and got great field position for the Mustangs. My apologies, the PennTrafford offense to get in the red zone and get in for a touchdown and a field goal.
We had an equipment malfunction on the Mustangs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Looked like Philip Marr, who had to come off the field. No, it's actually Andrew Soxman, which is not good for the Mustangs. Soxman has had uniform malfunction.
Right now. I don't know if Richie can get it on the camera, but Andrew Soxman going into the locker room.
Line drive kick. Ball was loose, but Nick Robb will have plenty of time to pick it up. And he's going to get to around the 20. He keeps pushing, and he will get to the 23-yard line, get some extra effort yardage as Soxman went back to the locker room, probably to get a new jersey. So most likely Plum will be without Soxman on this drive. Score is PennTrafford 17, Plum 3. This is Plum Mustangs football on the Plum Mustang Sports Network, brought to you by Plum TV. I'm Jake Mottola. Alongside me is Logan Carney, Nick Spudsatovich, Richie Rossi, Cameron Kutzner, and the real deal himself, Mr. Rick Barat. As we come to you from Harrison City on the campus of PennTrafford High School. Handoff to start the drive is going to be for Zach Martin, and Zach Martin bullies his way for around 7 yards. Zach gets his first carry, make it 8. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. We see Zach Martin for the first time this game.
Well, the offensive line, they're creating a huge hole for Zach to run through. And obviously he knocked a couple defensemen down when he got past, at least the 5-yard marker. And he just, what a great solid run on all cylinders by the offensive line and Zach Martin.
I mean, Zach's a hard runner. He's a linebacker on defense. He's one of the most hard-nosed players you'll ever meet. Competes every day. Handoff for Martin. Powers his way. He is going to be close to a first down. I think he got it.
Oh, I don't know, Jake. I think he's a yard short. I think it'd be 3rd and 1.
He may be, Mr. Broad. I think you're right. He is. It's going to be a 3rd down and inches. They're actually going to take an official's timeout to measure.
That's a Plum, excuse me, that's a Plum spot there, guys. I didn't think he was close to the first.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Mr. Broad. It looks kind of like me, like he got stopped back at the line.
I agree, Logan. But we'll take any timeout we can get here. Zach Martin plays both sides, as Patrick Rossi has a lot of the Plum Mustangs do. So get an extra little breath of fresh air. And boy, it's close.
It is inches short. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Mustangs.
Well, this should be
a power run formation, and good call because here comes second tight end Dylan Whiteman, an extra offensive lineman for the Mustangs.
Will Fear goes over the sidelines to get the play. Now, this is where you miss Soxman, because you know he would, not that Will's a bad runner or anything, but Soxman would come in and get the first down. So I would imagine Will's walked to the line pretty quick there. I'd like to see him snap it pretty quick, too.
And the handoff will go to Turchik, and he got it up the middle due to forward progress.
Yes, he's at the 35, so, and then Will go over, get the play call here, and be interesting now. Plum has had success, guys, since the first quarter with some positive yardage on first down.
Plum's at the 35-yard line, 8:05 and counting remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. It is PT 17, Plum 3. Again, I refer to PT as PennTrafford. Crossing in motion to the left. Here's the snap. Fuhrer will throw. Got time. He's going to go outside for Crossy, who gets his 4th catch of the day. He'll get around 3. Short pass play now makes it 2nd and 7. Excuse me.
This is what's happening right now, guys. And you can disagree with me if you want, but Plum right now, first down. It took 3 plays to get a first down, keeping some of their defense off the field, keeping PennTrafford's defense on the field. You know, if Plum's able to get another first down or 2, that's where that momentum, that pendulum's going to swing in the other direction.
I won't disagree with you at all there. That's a very good point. As the handoff is to Martin up the middle. Zach gets another good gain of around 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Now, we mentioned PT in their offense getting kind of out of their comfort zone. They had to run the ball. They looked good. The Mustangs have been, pretty much shut down on the run game so far. We've seen a couple really nice runs up the middle here by Zach Martin, who is again filling in for Andrew Soxman. And he has done an amazing job bringing, the Mustangs running game back to life here. And hopefully it continue for this drive and give the Mustangs a score, which put them right back in this football game.
3rd and 2. Fuhrer hands off for Nate Turchik. Oh, he's going to be close, but I think he's short about inches.
I think he, depending on the spot, he's definitely short. It's going to be 4th down, and it will say 4th and 1.
Mustang offense staying on the field here.
Yeah, I agree with this call here. I think you give it to Turchik, and you just try to get a yard.
I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say, Turchik just hits that hole very hard and at least gets you 2 yards, especially in that last 3rd down and inches play.
I don't think you try to draw them offsides either. You can just go and...
Handoff, Turchik. He's close. Oh, extra effort. I think he got it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the second effort when he twisted towards the PennTrafford end zone, you give him the first, and the refs didn't even waste any time here. And that's a first down. And so far, Plum with 2 straight first downs, guys, to start their second possession. Feels like their first possession, obviously, of the second half. Just joining us, PennTrafford would capitalize on a Plum turnover to take a 17-3 lead over our Mustangs with 5:40. Fast-moving game, guys. Homecoming night here at Warrior Stadium with 5:35 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Both teams running the ball the way they have been so far. Sure. Clock keeps running the way it is. Good point. Fuhrer's going to throw. He's got a lot of time. Throws to the outside. Teeter, did he catch that? No. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Great effort there by Teeter.
He made a good point on how fast this game is going. The Mustangs have done a lot of short passes and a lot of runs, and while now we're starting to see the run game gain a lot of good yards. And PT, who usually passes the ball a lot, has just been pounding the run game, and they've been getting upwards of 10+ yards on really good carries and really great holes by their offensive line.
Fuhrer was going to hand off to Martin, and he's going to be stopped at the line. Good defensive stop right there by Justin Smith, who's been a big factor on the defensive side of the ball for PennTrafford. It's going to be a 3rd down and 10.
And I think PennTrafford knew it was coming there. Their linebackers were creeping towards the line. They thought it would be a run. So Another big call here for the Mustangs, and it's 3rd and 10. And Will has had time to throw all night.
Yeah, not a problem. PennTrafford has not recorded a sack yet tonight. As Fuhrer is in the pistol, 3rd and 10. He has time again. He's got a rush, and as the pocket collapsed, he took a lot of time to throw, and I think I jinxed it right there after I said no sacks. As a sack right there is going to be by Chris Stanford, who recovered the fumble on the last possession, and unfortunately now Plum is going to have to punt from their own 41-yard line. It'll be Zach Nolan. Back to return for PennTrafford is Timmy Vecchio and Devin Austin. Here's a snap. Nolan gets a nice line drive punt off. It's going to take a nice Mustang bounce, but Vecchio will return it and get out of bounds to around the 28-yard line. That's where PennTrafford will start their second possession of the second half with a 17-3 lead over the Mustangs. You're watching Plum Mustangs football on the Plum Mustang Sports Network. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This telecast is copyrighted by the Plum Mustang Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Plum Mustang Sports Network and Plum TV is strictly prohibited.
Well, PennTrafford with their second possession, guys. 3:54 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Plum's going to need a defensive stop here without a doubt, or even a turnover.
Snap, handoff for Austin, who's run the ball well so far. He was marked down at the 34-yard line. Give Austin a nice 6-yard carry. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Crossing and Ross combine the stops for the Mustangs.
As Logan said, it looked like a different identity so far for the Warriors with them running the ball like they have been tonight with Devin Austin, with having Brett LaFoon as one of the leading passers in the WPIAL, let alone Quad A. Handoff for Austin, but the Mustang defensive line will break through right there. Big play by Chris Erfurt and senior linebacker Zach Martin in on the play.
It's amazing that line judge on the Plum sideline, he is standing on the 33. I mean, he was up almost at the 33 and a half. He's been like that all game, a half-yard more forward. Amazing.
And we'll back the Warriors up 1 yard. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 from the 33. They need to get to the 38 for a 1st down. They're going to go with 3 wide in the pistol formation for LaFoon. Devin Austin is behind him. There's the snap, fakes the handoff. Bill Irvin's going to rush the pocket, but it was a good design screenplay on the outside for the catch by Sam Guzik. 1st down, Warriors.
Bill Irvin came flying off the edge, but that was a design screen again. You know, you hate to say PennTrafford's making great calls, but boy, oh boy, their play calling tonight. Down here to get that 3rd or 4th and 1, that pitch out. Was it 3rd and short? I can't even remember now. I'm trying to block it out, I think. But PennTrafford's called a good, Coach Murrain and his staff has called a great game.
And even a couple plays that didn't work, like the trick play down here that should have been a touchdown. Sure. It was just a bad pass, just a really good call as he was wide open in the end zone.
Wildcat for Devin Austin. And he'll be brought down on the legs by Nate Turchik. Give Austin 3 yards, 2nd down and 7, 2:15 and counting. Remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, PT 17, Plum 3. One of the best nights I think we've had of football. It's been pretty much nice
Very
weather here. Yes, absolutely.
I was thinking about, I don't know what it was last week, guys, but very comfortable. I can remember at the end of October, middle of October, it's been snowing.
Handoff Austin. Oh no, Zach Martin with a nice defensive play. Nick Robb in there as well. Zach Martin read that play very nicely, and Devin Austin did not get anything on that play. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Warriors. They need to get to the 50 for a 1st down.
Well, you hate to say it, this is another big play, guys. Plum needs to get the ball back, and they're going to be put in a position here with under a minute 20 left to go in the 3rd quarter, where Plum might only have 3 possessions left the rest of the game, and they're going to be forced to score in both of them, or excuse me, in 2 out of 3, and they're going to need touchdowns. So PennTrafford doing a good job milking time off the clock. We
Absolutely.
have 5 seconds left to go. Play clock, 2, 1.
Get it off. And it was a quarterback keeper for Laffoon. Not enough for the 1st down. Mustangs are there to stop it. It almost was brought down behind the line of scrimmage, but Bill Irvin, Zach Martin, Nate Turchik, I could name the whole defense because they were engulfing Laffoon right there. And it's going to be a 4th down and 2, and the punt team is coming out on the field for the Warriors. Big stop for the Mustangs as we are now under 35 seconds and counting to go in the 3rd quarter of play. David Benson, I think you guys can agree with me, has had a very nice day at punting for PennTrafford. He's pinned Plum back far a couple of times.
We'll need a big return here from Patrick Crossy.
Crossy will catch it, and a good play on punt coverage. That right there was number 19, Anthony Fiasco. And like a Fiasco was there on the play to stop Crossy. Crossy's helmet came off, but he's going to
come off for the first play.
And as you heard the PA announcer here, that was your homecoming king, Anthony Fiasco.
Hey, Jake, I don't know if there's many coaches out there that can say they have both the homecoming king and queen on their football team.
I think you're right, Logan. I think it's a first.
Be a fun, interesting statistic. Need Tim Neverett here.
Mark that down in your calendars, October 17, 2014, folks. 1st down and 10, Fuhrer is going to fake. He has time, winds up, throws, incomplete. We're going to have a flag on the sideline.
That'd be interference, guys.
Absolutely, as there was early contact before Teeter caught the ball. It's either going to be illegal contact or most definitely a pass interference call. We'll see what head official John Cartwright has for us on this call.
PennTrafford moving back.
Yes, it is. Pass interference on PennTrafford. It will be an automatic 1st down. And any pass interference penalty in high school is an automatic 15-yard penalty, regardless of where the foul occurred. So Plum will move up to the 30-yard line now, as the clock is frozen at 9 seconds, barring an incomplete pass here or a run out of bounds. This may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. And they're in the pistol. Zach Martin's still in at running back. We still have yet to see Soxman this half. Handoff for Martin. Zach Martin with a nice hole. 1st down Mustangs to the 42, make it the 43-yard line. Zach Martin providing a spark for the Mustangs at running back as he gets a 13, make it now a 14-yard rush for Martin to the 44, and that is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter of play here in Harrison City. It's been a good one. PennTrafford capitalized on a Mustang turnover, scored a touchdown on a Brett Laffoon quarterback sneak. It is 17-3. PennTrafford, as we're going to get some score updates. Out-of-town scores are brought to you by MSA Sports. Altoona Mountain Lions are currently leading the Hempfield Spartans 35-6. That's a big game in terms for the Mustangs as they try to get 3rd place and try to get a home playoff game.
And I have the Pine Richland Rams ahead of the Central Catholic Vikings 31-21
at halftime.
Yeah, so that's obviously an exciting high-scoring game. So that game might wind up being in the 50s.
We do have a final in Hempfield. Altoona defeats the Hempfield Spartans 35-12, and I'm shocked for how early that game ended. We also have a final undefeated West Allegheny defeats Moon in a top 10 AAA matchup, 51-7. West Allegheny coming off an overtime win against the formerly #1 ranked Woodland Hills Wolverines. Some more updates. Hampton defeats Greensburg Salem 28-14. And TJ defeats Franklin Regional 24-6. Handoff outside for Nick Robin. Good job to stay with it and get some positive yardage there. He'll get 3.
That play could have had disaster written all over. He could have fumbled the ball, couldn't pick it up. Plum might have lost 5-6 yards, and he turned it into a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Mr. Barat, he saw a drop back here, but he picked it up and easily got a couple yards, which you couldn't, you know, that's probably the best thing you can ask for whenever something like that happens. It went from a almost disaster to a nice couple gain yards. If you keep getting a couple short runs, you will eventually be able to try a deep throw or get past with a big run.
Almost had success here. I'm sorry, Jake. Success running the ball here the second half.
No problem. Took the words out of my mouth. You're going to throw. Pass is completed to Ashton Teeter to the 42-yard line. We do have a flag on the play.
Where's the flag at?
Back at the line of scrimmage.
I see it on the 44 there.
Not usually a good spot for a flag, especially for the offense. We'll see what the call is going to be. It's going to be an illegal formation on the Mustangs. That hurts. Back them up 5 yards. It'll now be 2nd down and 12. And forget about that completion of 10 yards to Teeter, as the Mustangs will now have to try again on a 2nd down and 12.
That was a good play by the Mustangs, too. Teeter was flying down the field and just stopped and did that little button hook, and he was wide open for a while. So bad luck there by the Mustangs now as they start off now 2nd and 12.
If you're in the pistol with Zach Martin behind him, here's the snap. Mustang line has been doing a good job so far tonight. Over the middle, pass completed to Crossy at the 30. Crossy stays on his feet, down to the 20, inside the 20, the 19-yard line. And we are applauding up here because that was a great connection from Fuhr to Crossy. Make it, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Richie, make a 39-yard completion.
And Jake, there, that's another bad spot. I mean, he was at least to the 18.
Yeah, I don't
take every yard you can get.
Because I'll sound like a broken record by the end of the night. But hey, I thought he was tackled right by
the 18
at least
the 17.
18. Yeah, it's okay. It'd be interesting to see if Plum passes or runs here. They've had success running the ball.
Snap.
Good
it's Zach Martin up the middle, and he will lean forward.
He's past the 15. If they mark that ball on the 16, that is a horrific call.
They are going to do that. Mark it at the 16, gain of 3, which pretty much should have been a gain of 5.
He was tackled, and then he stretched up over the 15-yard line. Zach's like 4'0". He stretched that ball. I'm just kidding. Of course, he's like 5.
We love you,
5,
Zach.
7,
I know you
5,
watch
8.
this broadcast, Zach.
His head and shoulders over it, too.
He easily crossed the 15-yard line.
His shoulders and his head were both over the 15.
Here's the snap. Fuhr, another handoff for Martin. Martin up the middle. Martin bullies his way inside the 10. Mustang first down to the 7. How about that spot? Zach Martin bullies his way for 10 yards, and the Mustangs will have a 1st and goal at the 7 with 9:50 remaining in the game.
Could PennTrafford be getting tired, as maybe Plum was, their defensive line, because Plum has just gashed them second half.
It has to be something like that, because in the first half, the run game was not there for Plum, which usually has a very, very good run game. Now the run game has opened up. Plum has had another deep pass earlier in this drive.
Here to Martin. Martin stays on his feet. He is in. Touchdown Mustangs. Zach Martin in for the touchdown, and the Mustangs are right back in this game. It is now a 1-possession game. High fives all around from the booth up here. Great drive by the Mustangs, as Zach Martin bullies it in for his first touchdown of the season.
1-possession game with plenty of time left.
And that is huge. Obviously the 7 points added to the score is now huge for the Mustangs. But the fact that we may be missing is they did that running the ball mostly. The running game, which the Mustangs have
Kick from Chapla is up and good.
Nice block there.
As the running game has been there for the Mustangs pretty much the whole season. And now it's finally starting to open up tonight, where it's been probably the passing game that has really, dominated on Plum's end.
As we take our hashtag Plum Selfie Friday up here in the booth, Chapla made the extra point to make this PennTrafford 17, Plum 10, right back in the game with 9:22 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Now, and I believe here that if Chappie can get another touchback and PennTrafford has to start the ball in their 20, which they haven't really done that. They haven't really done that good when they start the ball in their own half. We saw a bunch of 3 and outs whenever they started the ball deep in their own half. If they start the ball at the 20 again and the Mustangs get another really good stop, and again if they pound the ball in the running game, then this is a tie ball game.
I agree.
I'd like to confirm too, our game time start here was around 7:35. Most of the other Quad A games started around 7 o'clock tonight. That's why more finals have been occurring now before our game, because we started at 7:30 here at PennTrafford. When we're at home, we start at 7 o'clock. Chapla, knee on shoot. Jake Chapla will kick it off for the Mustangs. It's a booming kick. It will be returned from the 4 by Devin Austin. Austin's going to get to the 20, and he's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line. PennTrafford starts with semi-decent field position. Good coverage by the Mustang kicking team, as Chapel just missed getting that into the end zone for a touchback. Again, a little update here. PennTrafford 17, Plum 10 with 9:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. Plum has just made it a one-possession game on a nice drive led by Zach Martin, who took it in the house for a 7-yard touchdown run, his first of the season, and he seemed to be the spark plug on the offensive side of the football for the Mustangs here in the second half.
Poor spots do not faze Zach Martin at all.
Amen to that, Logan. Wildcat for Devin Austin. Gets behind some blockers. Mustang defense is there to stop it. Nate Turchik, first one to Austin. Pickup of about 5 yards for the Warriors. Going to be a 2nd down and 5.
I want to know how he's at the 32-yard line. Someone explain that to me logically. He did not get past. At best, he got to the 31.
My only explanation is here, Mr. Braun, you'll probably agree with me, is the hometown favorites. And also, it just seems like the Allegheny County teams get no respect when they come to Westmoreland County. We've seen that a couple times this year. 2nd down 5, handoff for Austin. He's stuffed at the line. First one to him was Eric Trenz. Austin gets only a gain of 1. It's going to be a 3rd down and 4. Make it a long 4. They're going to give it 3rd down and 5. From the 32.5-yard line, it's a long 4. 3rd down and 4.
Well, guys, this is about the 3rd biggest play of the game coming up as we're under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Big Plum stop here.
Be huge.
Be huge, and they get the ball back with a ton of momentum, as we talked about, Logan. Once we got the possession back after the
PennTrafford needs some urgency. Play clock's down to 3. Down to 1.
Delay game.
And they are going to blow the whistle.
That was
flag. It is a huge call. Delay a game against PennTrafford. Good catch by the officials, like they should be. Watching the play clock. A loss of 5 yards on the penalty. It's now a 3rd down and around 10.
And I thought that's exactly what they did. They were going to do what they did down here, Logan. Fake that handoff right up the middle and pitch it and let those guys run with their speed to the outside.
And it's huge now because, moving it back 3rd and 10, they're unlikely to try a run play here, especially with great quarterbacks. So if they try and do that fake, it's not going to really fool anyone.
The only thing I would worry about is what they did earlier. Spread out Plum.
Yes.
2 wides to the right, 2 wides to the left, and they do have almost 3 wides to the right. And it was a design quarterback draw. That's what I'd be worried about here.
Here's the snap. Rolling out to the left is LaFoon. He's going to go deep. He has a receiver deep. It is incomplete. Out of the hands of Tyler Bruno, who had Philip Marr deep, but it was just overthrown. And football is a game of inches, guys.
Yes. So now, with 7:41 left, and we did say Plum would probably get 3 possessions. Plum would get 3 possessions in this in the rest of the game. They scored on their first, so here comes their second possession. So love to see Pat Crossy return a punt here. So overdue. I almost called it at Connellsville, and he came close tonight. So
could cut the field in half here. Hopefully.
Here's the snap. The punt from Benson is a high one. Crossy will fair catch. Ball is loose, but he recovers it, and we all can hold our breath up here and exhale as Crossy will fall on the ball at the 35-yard line. Mustangs still have great field position.
Collective gasp there when he ball went off his fingertips. Jake's holding his chest right now.
Yep.
And this Mustangs defense, you got to be impressed by this. They come into an away game against one of the best quarterbacks against Whitfields, and he has been pretty much a non-factor in this game.
Been a big-time non-factor.
And let me say this too. Plum has had 3 turnovers, yet they still have a chance to tie the game against the 3rd-ranked PennTrafford Warriors. Snap. Fuhrer's going to throw. He has time. He will toss. Incomplete. Intended for Crossy. Almost brought it in, but just a little bit to the right of Crossy.
Now I want to touch back on the defense and everything. If I had to pick 2 things, that would be probably the big reasons why the Mustangs have had probably one of their best seasons in a while. It's mainly the defense, which has been amazing this year, and the offensive line, which has led to some great running games earlier in the season. And today we see them putting up some great protection, giving Will Fuhrer a lot of time back there for in the pocket for passes.
Fuhrer handoff for Martin. Zach Martin gets a hole. He's going to break ahead to the 40-yard line. It's going to be a shorter third down and 5. Mustangs got to get to the 45. There is 7:15 remaining. Do the Mustangs go with 2-down territory here, or do you think it's first down or bust right here for a punt?
Mr. Brock, go ahead and say it.
I don't know. I'm kind of concerned with the play call here. I wouldn't be surprised if it is 4-down territory. If that's what Coach Morgan's thinking, this plays a run.
A pistol offense again. 3 wide. Or 3 tight, rather.
And they get Turchik out to the left. Snap. We have a stoppage in play. I don't see any laundry. It's a timeout, Plum. Plum will use their first timeout of the second half. They have 2 remaining. There's 6:41 remaining in the 4th quarter. PennTrafford 17, Plum 10. Plum will have a 3rd and 5. They need to get to the 45 in order to keep the drive going. It is homecoming here at PennTrafford High School at beautiful Warrior Stadium. We are here in the Kelly Memorial Press Box. And if I just heard that correctly, guys, Pine Richland defeated.
No.
Or when was it?
They said that was just an update. The Rams 38, Central
Catholic 28.
That game started the same time as ours, Jake, 7:30. So
gotcha.
They are probably in the middle or approaching the middle, like this game, of the 4th quarter. So.
Then again, our game's been moving pretty fast too.
I think you run the ball. I really do. I think they're thinking pass. I think you run.
Here's the snap. Fuhrer will go. Pass completed to Hubner on the outside. He'll get to the 49, and we're shocked up here, but we'll take it. It's a 9-yard hitch play for Hubner. Mustangs get to the 49-yard line, first down with 6:36 now. As quickly, I'd like to mention a final score within our section. McKeesport keeps their section hopes alive with a 35-14 victory over the Norwood Knights, but still, if the PennTrafford Warriors win tonight, they will win the section outright. And if anyone wants to guess the Clareton score, it was a little bit lower this week, 60-0 Clareton over Monessen.
They hit 60.
Martin bullies his way into PennTrafford territory.
Are they marking him down at the 50 there?
He is not at the 50. This
No, they are.
Has to mark him up at the 49 at least.
We have the line judge closest to us at the 50. The other one's at about the 48.
It's almost at the 48 there. That spot kind of went Plum's way. I thought maybe Zach got 2.5 would have been gracious. They gave him
3.
Scoreboard says 2nd and 8, but Plum has to get to the 41, and they're sitting at the 48. So that's a 3-yard gain.
We'll give him 3. 2nd down and 7 from the 48. Fuhrer fakes the throw, or fakes the run. He's going to throw. Pass is incomplete, intended for Zach Nolan. Coverage out there was by number 3, Timmy Vecchio.
And Will had to get rid of that ball. Split second too early. I was watching the pocket there, guys, and there was someone right in Will's face. So he probably had to throw that ball a nudge earlier than he wanted, and Zach couldn't pull it in. So big play again here. This is what, the 4th or 5th biggest play of the game.
Of the quarter.
Or of the drive, if anything.
5:28 left. And I do not think this is 4th down territory.
I agree with you here, too.
It is 3rd and 8. Well, we think 3rd and a long 7.
Yeah, we'll say 3rd and a long 7. Fuhrer's going to throw. Pocket collapsing a little bit, and it'll be incomplete. Pass was intended for Nolan again.
I think there's no question you punt the ball
and
pin him deep.
They are going to punt here. Plum has 2 timeouts remaining and 5:24 on the game clock. It's now 4th and a long 7. Nolan will try to pin PennTrafford back inside their own 20. Nolan's also had a good day, as well as the PennTrafford punter, David Benson. Both these punters have had a big day in terms of pinning the team back. There's the snap. It's a good one. Got plenty of time to boot it. It's long. Vecchio will catch it and try to return it. Mustangs going to try to beat him to the outside, and Vecchio does a good job to get some yardage out of there. We're going to have a flag as well.
And it looks to be on the PT over there. They're all shaking their heads.
Usually on that outside, it looks like a holding, because it couldn't be an illegal block in the back there, I think.
I can't see how it's against Plum for goodness.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, they ran Vecchio out of bounds.
Yeah, Nick Poprocky is going to signal towards PennTrafford. It is an illegal block in the back. So mark them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. If it's inside the 20, it'll be half the distance to the goal.
PennTrafford has 35 cheerleaders. I just count. There's
to our 19.
There's a lot of cheerleaders there. If Nick can tilt down, yeah, we have 19 cheerleaders.
Yeah, 19.
PennTrafford has 35. Just noticed that now.
Almost double ours.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, this is exact. I'm sorry, go ahead, Logan.
Plus, I don't know if you noticed, they've had a mascot out there for the whole game. I can't see him now.
He didn't look very enthusiastic.
Didn't notice the bell and have heard
Buffoon.
We definitely noticed the bell.
For Austin. Austin keeps his feet going. Good job by Devin Austin. I really want to call him Tavon Austin, but it's not Tavon Austin. It's Devin Austin for 7.
Good run on 1st down for 7 yards, and we have a running clock, obviously. There is 4:50 left to go. Good gain on 1st down by the Warriors. And I wouldn't expect anything but them to keep the ball on the ground. And if they're able to get a couple 1st downs, they will milk the clock to under 2 minutes.
My thought process was on the punt, though, and I realized it was Plum. As I will tell it here, as Austin gets the handoff, he'll jump forward to the 19. It's going to be a 2nd or 3rd down and 1. They need to get to the 20. As I'm thinking to myself, it's tough at the end of the game to give the ball away and let the other team control the clock and ultimately control their destiny. But I have to agree with you, because pinning them back is just so key and just gives you a better opportunity to get you the ball back in better field position than you were on the last drive.
Yeah, if Plum tries to do a run blitz here and run up the middle.
Sneak for Laffoon. The spot is around the 20.5. Yes, 1st down. PennTrafford. Laffoon gets 1, and it's enough for a PT 1st down.
And
clock stops there.
Yeah, clock does stop, and then we'll start right back up. But they started to drive at 5:28, Richie, so they've managed to to milk about a minute and a half. So if they're able to get another first down, they will take the clock pretty close to 2 minutes here. So Plum's going to need a big stop here, specifically on first down.
Turnover would be key here.
Yeah, PennTrafford's not turned it over tonight. To their
They're
credit.
due.
That's why they're one of the best teams in the whip.
Snap, and there you go, Richie. Good call as the Mustangs are going to get a stop here on first down. Zach Nolan was the first one to him, only about a yard and a half, maybe 2. It will be second down and 8.
I would not use the timeouts. I don't think you need to yet.
Wait till you get on offense.
Well, they're going to have to stop the clock, Richie, so I feel like they'd use the timeouts too.
Yeah, maybe if you stop them for no gain here, but
yeah.
I think I'd let it go. You might need that. If they get another first down, you're going to need those 2 timeouts to stop the clock. I mean, we've seen in the NFL, guys, I mean, if you can't make a first down and you give that ball over to the opponent, what happens?
Boy, would it be nice, though, if we had this timeouts, Richie, for the next possession, too.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Handoff up the middle for Austin. He gets down to the 27. It'll be a third down and 4. Timeout Plum. They now have 1 remaining. This is going to be maybe the 17th biggest play of the day.
This would be the 6th, Jake.
Yeah, I over-exaggerated.
Yeah.
This is probably the 6th biggest play of the game.
Well, let's set the table for everyone.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
If you're just joining us, the Warriors with the ball at their own 27-yard line, they have to make it to the 31. It is 3rd and 4. The Warriors with a 17-10 lead over our Mustangs. If they are able to get another first down, Plum can only stop the clock once. So it is conceivable that Plum would get the ball back, but if they would get it back, if PennTrafford's able to get a first down here, it would be with very little time left. So Plum has played well tonight. Plum has had 3 turnovers. PennTrafford doesn't have any, which is the difference of the game right now. So this is a big play now. PennTrafford must get a first down to practically win the game. If not, Plum will get a chance to tie.
Plum does not have a sack in this game so far. LaFoon keeps it. LaFoon is a first down and more to the 40. Brett LaFoon puts the game on his shoulders and gains around 12 yards, make it 13, and it's enough for a PennTrafford first down to the 40. And like you said, Mr. Brown, Plum can now only stop the clock once, as we are now under 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting remaining in the 4th quarter.
If they could find some way to force a turnover here, that'd be huge.
PennTrafford, one of the lowest turnover margins in terms of score, in terms of touchdown to turnover ratio. Handoff for Austin up the middle. Austin gets 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8. And to mention it, I haven't mentioned it yet, the touchdown to interception ratio for Brett LaFoon, and I may have told you this, guys, already, 18-1. Brett LaFoon has 18 touchdowns to only 1 interception this year.
Well, don't forget he had that touchdown pass in the corner down here.
So make it 19-1. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's just, it's terms of accuracy, but it's just in the terms of this is his now 2nd year of starting here for PennTrafford, as he did a fantastic job last year. We knew PennTrafford made it to the Final 4 of the playoffs last year. They upended section opponent McKeesport in the 2nd round of the playoffs with a big upset.
And this might not be the best time in the world, but I had to give this in-game update. Pine Richlands has put up 45 points against Central now, as they just scored another touchdown. It's now 45-28 with just over 2 minutes left in the game.
Hashtag upset alert. I need college basketball season so bad, guys, but football season is one of the most enjoyable for all of us here in Pittsburgh. Handoff Austin. Austin's first down for PT to the 45-yard line. Now we're going to have 2 minutes, under 2 minutes, when the clock restarts. And Plum's in a little bit of a predicament here, guys.
Plum's done well stopping the run in the second half, but I think they might be a little worn out. And I don't know if PennTrafford can just sit on it here. They do have to, looks like they're going to call timeout here. There's only 10 seconds left. Yep. Get off a quick play. 5 seconds left.
Minute 39 and counting. They're going to get the playoff handoff for Austin. Austin has a hole. Devin Austin gets to the 30, down to the 24-yard line. And it's 25 seconds per play on the play clock. And now officially, PennTrafford can just kneel this out.
Victory formation.
PennTrafford can officially kneel it out here. Thank you, Richie. You're correct. PennTrafford in the victory formation. LaFoon takes a knee.
And Jake, going back to your college football, we know your Pitt Panthers last night. Big win over the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Yes, they did. Pitt beating Virginia Tech in front of a crowd of 31,000 at Pitt at Heinz Field, which, as a Pitt fan, I'm ashamed to say it's nothing compared to the crowds of Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State. But Pitt pulled out a victory in an ugly one, 21-16 over rival Virginia Tech in the ACC. Pitt keeps their ACC Coastal Division hopes alive. And PennTrafford will just need one more knee, and the game will be over.
Good game, though, by the Mustangs. After what you guys described to me at this time last week as we were pulling into our hotel in Columbia, Maryland, as Plum just kind of fell apart in the second half against McKeesport. They did directly the opposite here against one of the better teams in the Whitfield, as the Mustangs lose to the Warriors tonight, 17-10.
PennTrafford stays undefeated at 8-0. Probably will move up in the standings, barring a major comeback from Central Catholic. This is the closest game PennTrafford has had this year. 7 points, the second closest one. I have to go back to my stat sheet here, guys. Their second closest game was a 35-21 game against Hempfield 2 weeks ago. As PennTrafford really has been demolishing opponents so far this year with an 8-0 record, now a 7-0 record in section, as Plum now falls to an overall record of 4-4 and a section record of 4-3. PennTrafford clinches the Foothills Conference title with the victory here this evening, and Plum's best they can finish in the section now is 4th place. So officially, Plum cannot clinch a home playoff game. Plum will play their playoff game on the road, site to be determined.
It'd be nice for them, as we kind of predicted it a couple days ago. I can see Plum being anywhere between a 12-13 seed, and hopefully they would obviously not draw Pine Richland. They cannot draw PennTrafford. They would not draw Woodland Hills, or the Woodland Hills Penn Hills loser. But I can see Plum drawing. Penn Hills. Hopefully not Central Catholic.
Oh, I agree.
But they will either draw probably the best 3rd place team, as long as they win next week against for senior night against Latrobe. They will draw probably the worst 2nd place team or the best 3rd place team, which is a good draw for Plum. If it's Penn Hills, that would be great. It could be also one of the better 3rd place teams, and that could be an Upper St. Clair or a Mount Lebanon or a Bethel Park, who we are all very familiar with, or it could be North Hills or North Allegheny, and that would be a competitive game. So very good showing by the Mustangs.
And don't think the playoff committee doesn't look at this game and say, that's very interesting. PennTrafford could easily finish this year undefeated, and Plum could have given them their best game and their biggest scare of the season. So don't count this as just a loss. It has to be. Logan, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to touch on your point here. The Plum Mustang, they're the first and only team to actually shut down what was an amazing quarterback and an amazing passing attack. Like, you look at the 17-10 score, this game was a lot closer than it was. Even though the Mustangs had 3 turnovers on offense, the defense had just an amazing game and shown why they're probably one of the most underrated defenses in all of Whitfields. That's probably not even probably. That's easily a fact that Plum is one of the most underrated defenses in Whitfields.
averaging 13 points a game given up coming into this game and shutting down one of the best quarterbacks and forcing PT to beat them on the run, which unfortunately they did. But it just shows you how much heart and how good this Mustangs defense is.
No, I agree, Logan. And you know what? In all honesty, I mean, 17-10, you can go back and say if. I mean, PennTrafford's probably thinking, hey, we should have scored in that trick play down here to the end zone to the left of us.
Absolutely.
We should at least had 24. But, you know, Plum can easily say also, hey, you know, Will had that interception early on, which led to a field goal. I mean, if that doesn't happen, PennTrafford scores 14. You know, there was a bad snap on the first possession, which led to a touchdown. I mean, on Plum's behalf also, you can say, you know what, they've technically held PennTrafford to 7. I mean, PennTrafford had all their points come off of turnovers pretty much. So, and they stopped when that one that went out of Zach Nolan's hands to the end zone to the right of us. I mean, that stopped the Plum drive. Plum was at least going to get 3 out of that. So I think Plum played them pretty evenly. Thoroughly impressed with Plum. Obviously, you guys saw last week's game. I only watched the broadcast. I think Plum played better than last week. You talked to Coach Morgan's dad at halftime. I think Plum's played one bad half all season, and that was the second half against McKeesport.
Yep.
They struggled a little bit off and on against Altoona also. Plum's first loss in their whiteys. They're all white uniforms. They were undefeated in their whites. Pat Crossy told me that statistic actually. So, you know what? Plum has a chance to rebound. They can set the ship right. Senior night against the Latrobe Wildcats, and then hopefully you'll get a good seed. Boy, I'd love to see this team go out to Penn Hills on Halloween night. Would definitely love for them to avoid Central Catholic on Halloween.
I think that's an understatement. I agree with you. Richie, can I get your thoughts on tonight's performance?
Just going back to the score of this game tonight, this is the first game that PT's been held under 20 points, and just the second game that they've been held under 30. So that's a huge, I don't know.
Huge,
yeah, Richie, I definitely agree with that because PennTrafford is known for their scoring, not more of their defense. They are known for their scoring, and it's just, we cannot give kudos more to the Mustangs for a fantastic performance tonight, as we are going to wrap it up here from Harrison City, PA, on the campus of PennTrafford High School. Our final score is PennTrafford 17, Plum 10. You've been watching Plum football on the Plum Mustang Sports Network. On behalf of myself, Mr. Rick Barat, Logan Carney, Richie Rossi, Nick Spudzatovich, Cameron Kutzner, good night from PennTrafford. We will see you for senior night next week against Latrobe.